Yeah.
Same.
With this crowd, yes. Monday nights?
Hello and welcome to the Town of Litchfield Recreation Commission meeting. Tonight is January 24th, 2023. It is 7:02 p.m. We are meeting live in the Town Hall Conference Room. Do a call to order. So first we'll do a roll call of attendance. Sorry, I didn't do my homework before coming to this meeting. I usually do. My name is Steve Gannon. I am the chair. Mr. Andy Ruggles, vice chair.
Present.
Mrs. Judy Brennan, secretary.
Present.
Mr. Jeff Town, alternate member.
Present.
Mr. Christopher Burns, member.
Here.
Mr. Peter Ames, member.
Present.
Mr. Michael Bosky, member.
Here.
And our selectman's rep, Stephen Weber.
Present.
Thank you. Moving along, we have approval of meeting minutes. We have two. First one is December 27th, 2022. Absent that evening was Judy. Has everyone had a chance to review the meeting minutes?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I'll accept a motion to approve December 27, 2022 meeting
moved.
minutes as written.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any edits, modifications, conversation on it? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Abstains?
Aye.
Nays? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 1. Next one is January 10th, 2023. Absent that evening was Mr. Jeff Town. Has everyone had a chance to review the meeting minutes?
Yep.
Yep. Accept a motion to approve January 10th, 2023 meeting minutes as written.
So moved.
Have a
Second.
Thank you. Changes, modifications? Here are none. All those in favor of accepting the meeting minutes as written, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Abstains?
Aye.
Nays? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0, 1. All right. Moving on. Facility and field requests. We have one. Litchfield Baseball and Softball is looking to use Talent Hall on March 18th, 2023, from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. to bring back the comedy night. They have already discussed this plan with LPA, and LPA will make sure they are clear of the gym that evening. I'll make a motion to approve Litchfield Baseball and Softball to use Talent Hall on 3/18/2023 from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. for comedy night. Can I have a second?
Second.
All right, let's do a little discussion. I am sure you guys have already, you've done this before, so you know the routine. There'll be BYOB, there'll be an officer present.
Bring your own food, everything we normally do. We'll have an officer.
Cleaning crew.
Setup crew,
Before
cleaning crew.
You'll have to look to find out where the white tables are.
They're in the shed.
They're in the
They're
shed.
back in the shed?
No, they're not.
Where are they?
We don't know.
They were not there for the tree lighting
So far on the
whole
deck, I
thing.
think,
There were like 3 long ones, really long ones.
That's
Those
it?
Shorter white ones were no longer in the shed. They weren't on the on the stage.
yeah, on the stage is probably 2.
Yeah,
I
we
went
couldn't-
into the shed the other day, they may be 3. I'm thinking they may be at the fire station when they were setting up for, the charitable contributions from.
Outside? All right, I'll get with the
Yeah, 'cause you'll
interim chief and
need
find out.
those.
And I'll also get with highway. Somebody had to have moved them. I mean,
Yeah, they'll be at the old fire station.
could be at the old fire station. It could be a lot of different places. So we'll look for them. We probably need 20 of them.
Need all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because
there
we're
was-
not using those boat anchors that we've done in the past. Those other tables
which are the big old
weigh about
wooden-
70 pounds apiece.
Yeah, they're really
And at 11 o'clock at night, it's the last thing you want to be carrying.
Yeah, so we gotta do a little research, find out where they went. I think that's all that's in the shed right now is those big old
Yeah.
boat anchors.
I don't ever want to carry those again.
Any other discussion on that? All right, all in favor of allowing baseball and softball to use Talent Hall on that evening for comedy night, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
4 abstains. 3
Ooh,
nays. 4, 0, 3. Motion passes. Fortunately, we're gonna be away that night, but I'd like to be there because it's always fun.
Why don't you cancel?
Donate.
Cancel?
We still accept donations.
Yeah.
I'll get you some beer.
Okay.
New business. First one is Eversource special exemption for Brickyard Fields. I don't know how many of you watched the ZBA meeting. I'm crazy like that. But I also got an email from the town administrator. Eversource, as we all know, there's Eversource power lines that run adjacent to Scott and his fields. Eversource wants to come in and replace the big wooden, old utility pole that's in Mrs. LaSalle, or Miss LaSalle's yard, which is, if you walk down the path, it's to the right, and it's in her back corner. The power lines don't cross over the actual field, but they go from the Johnson's house on the left across the entrance path, connect to the power pole in Miss LaSalle's yard, and then continue. They want to replace that, and to do that, they're gonna put up the big metal ones that they've been doing. They have like 7, I guess, they're gonna be doing around town. They have to come in and put a huge 100 by 100 wooden dance floor around the pole. Then they erect the new steel one next to the wood one, and then move everything over. The problem is that pole is right against the fence line, so that means that dance floor will be across the path, have to take down both fences, and it'll pour into the neighbor's house on the left. It may actually impede a little bit onto the field, I don't know, I haven't measured it to see how big it is. They want to do this from March to June. So that means we'd have a 100-foot wooden dance floor with 3 large trucks sitting there for 3 months during prime soccer season.
Is it 100 by 100 or is it 100 square feet?
Watching the meeting, Tim Hebert, who lives on the end, he said it was 100 by 100. I don't know, maybe, it can't be 100 square feet.
No, because that would be 10 by 10, but I mean, 100 by 100 's
Yeah,
huge.
that's,
Have you ever, they're
That's
working,
enormous.
yeah,
Talking about parking 3 cars on there too.
three big
Or 3
utility
trucks, yeah.
they have one going on now on 102 on those power lines, and there's 3 huge
Yeah,
trucks
they're
on there.
big.
100 by 100 is big, though.
Yeah, it's enormous, and it's, they can't really put the pole anywhere else because of the train, and there's the ditch that goes into Nessun Brook.
I mean, can we walk across it, like, when they're
That's-
not working?
I don't know. So the problem would be,
Is it safe to walk across it?
Safe to
while
walk.
they're
Right,
not
that's, yeah.
Well, I mean, the railroad tie is basically what they put down for
Yeah.
the dance floor.
so it'd be how's it going to impede foot traffic? It's prime soccer season. Our landscaping crew won't be able to get in there. We wouldn't be able to have the porta potty service the whole time it's there.
Yeah, I would,
Go back and tell them to find us an accessible route into it and put it at their problem.
right, they can't impede our access to the,
Correct.
They have a right of way, so.
that's fine.
They have a
but
right
we
of way,
have a
but
right-of-way
we
to
still
get
need to
into
get
the
to our
field,
field.
Exactly.
Then my next question would be, is there any way we can get them to put up 2 brand-new fences for us when
I
they
was
take the
gonna
dance?
ask
Exactly.
That would be my
they
question.
should.
Because they're very, very good at accommodating, putting up trees and bushes and everything
Yes.
for it. I mean,
Even
their
if it's
outreach program's
arborvitae's.
great.
They,
Oh, like,
The nice thing is, at that meeting, so that I was not notified, the town was notified, I received notification about what they want to do afterwards. But watching the meeting, Miss LaSalle, the Johnson family, and then there's another lady who lives out towards the back, and they all expressed similar concerns. One is, what is their yard gonna look like when they're done? Because so far, a lot of people have complained that they just leave it a mess. The second one they all mentioned is kids play soccer during that time. What about the kids? And it was kind of nice to hear that they were concerned about the kids playing soccer.
Is it gonna spill over onto the field at all, or is
I
it just,
don't know.
it's just the access?
I think it may spill over onto the field just because it's so big, and I don't know,
And that'll impede play.
that would impede play.
and they should
don't know where they
have
put it.
to reseed or anything that gets ripped up.
So what I would like
I
to
think they
do,
should meet
Have
us
to do
out
all
there,
that.
stake off the area and say, okay, how are we gonna get kids to and from this field?
Yep.
And on top of it, I'd be like, what's it gonna look like after? And can you put in 2 new fences? Because we desperately need fences there.
and then also, so at the last zoning board meeting, they had the idea of possibly asking them to put give them an escrow because things aren't being repaired the way they should. So put money aside for, like, that fence comes down, they're not going back up.
Yeah.
I personally it would be nice to see 2 vinyl stockade fences to go up, but it's 500 linear feet of that vinyl fencing would be, $300 or $500 a section. That'd be pricey. I don't know if they would do that, but
They've been really good on other things they've done around
Yes.
town.
Yes, you just need someone to be present at the meeting and say
push it.
that we want it left as nice as it looks now or better,
Yep.
but not
Is it
ripped up
usually
and just
this
walk away.
time frame? Does it usually take them 4 months to do this?
That's
Or is
what-
it just that's their range and it might take like 3 weeks, but they're giving us this range because they.
Don't know when they'll mobilize.
Correct.
Right, they're doing, I think, 7 or 5 in the general area, so I don't know, I think it's their range of when they're gonna do it. I don't know if it's gonna.
So it might
shouldn't
not
take
be
them-
3 months on that one pole, it's 3 months in that area.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
in that
because the
general-
ones right on CBH that they did on the south end, I mean, that was there a couple months, and then they just took the dance floor out.
Yeah. So the concerns would be foot traffic, can the kids get around it safely? Do we want them walking across it, going near the trucks, et cetera? Damage to the area, damage to the fence. If they do extend into the field, they're gonna have to, and my suggestion is, any damage to the field, I want Ryan to go out beforehand, do an assessment on the sprinkler system to make sure there's nothing broken. And anything that gets broken or needs to be repaired, I think our contractor should do the repairs and charge them accordingly. I don't want we pay a lot of money for our fields, I don't want some guy coming in and just throwing some grass seed and saying, you're good, we're out of here.
I like the idea of retainage. Put something in escrow.
Yeah.
That way we always have a means to pay for it after the fact.
I know, Tanner Johnson, the house on the left, I talked to him before, and he mentioned if we replace that fence, he's willing to contribute and help. He wants a vinyl stockade fence. He has some vinyl, but I think, the cedar fencing or whatever it is, probably pine that's there, just won't last. That stuff now is falling in.
I think we push for it.
Yeah.
But we, like you said, we need to be able to get the equipment back there too, because if they can't maintain the fields, they can't use them anyway.
Right.
So-
If you can't maintain them, if you can't get this porta potty serviced.
Yeah.
Which pole are they gonna replace?
So if you're looking at the path, right,
Yeah, looking towards the fields.
towards the field, it's on the right.
Is it by the shed then?
Yes, it's by the shed.
Oh, it's way down at the other end of the driveway,
Yep.
far end of the.
The lines don't go across our field, but they go across the path. So I think they're doing a couple pulls in that area. When Tim Hebert, who lives on the far end of Brickyard, had it done in his yard, he says it's the poles are higher, they're wider, they're bigger, they're uglier. He had them leave it a certain way for his own liking, but a little bit further down, the lady who lives there said they just left her yard an absolute mess. So she was here speaking about that concern. I don't know what they have a right-of-way access. I'm sure we have some say in it. I don't know if you could actually prevent them from doing it. So the ZBA, at the last meeting, decided to table it until the next meeting where we could have representation and attend and bring up our concerns. So the concerns are, like we said, access by people and equipment, damage to the fields, damage to the fences, replacing the fences and leaving things in better condition. And then, of course, the biggest one is we can't shut down that field for 3 months.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned, well, maybe they can move the kids somewhere else. It's like, we don't have anywhere else.
You wanna put a new field in for us?
I'll honestly say it's probably the worst time of the year to do it. Because you could, over the summer would be fine. In the fall, you could kind of get away with sawmill and use it as overflow. In the spring with lacrosse there's no room.
There's no room.
Yeah, I mean, it's the worst time of the year.
That's the other thing, can they push it later in the year?
Push it towards the summer.
Will someone from Eversource be represented at that zoning meeting, or are they just or is it just the zoning board taking input this time?
Would somebody from, yes, Eversource will be there.
Okay.
Yep. I plan on attending. Of course, any of us can attend if you want to come and voice your opinion.
When is
Definitely
that,
helpful.
Steve?
I
It's,
think driving in there with trucks in March too, with its prime mud and they're heavy, they're
February,
gonna leave some
It
I wanna
gullies
say
and
the
everything.
18th.
Just text me, I'll join with you.
Yeah, I'll get the details on it. and-
If I got nothing, I'll
Hopefully I can make
come
it.
with you.
12/21,
What day is
not
it?
12, sorry, 2/21.
What day is that, do you know?
That's a Tuesday,
Tuesday? I should be able to make it.
7? 6:30?
I don't remember what time it was. I'll get the details and I'll send it out. So if we could ask him to push it towards later in the summer when the field's not as heavily used, that would be one exception.
Right, yeah, I mean, this doesn't have a time. Yeah, I mean, it's legitimately the worst time of the year.
Yeah, it's, and we can't say no, we can't move the kids anywhere else, and it's prime time. It's when spring sports are starting up. All right. Any other conversation on that? Next one, NHRPA Southern District Meeting, Thursday, 1/26/2023, in Derry at the Lodge. Judy.
Yeah, I just wanted to put it out there. We got the email and I guess the different rec commissions.
Yeah.
Selected a day and time. I don't know if anybody can go. I get out of work on Thursdays at 11, but it's also supposed to be really crappy weather, so it may end up being canceled.
Oh, that's in
But-
2 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the email I think came out last week.
I haven't participated in one, but the guy running them does a good job. He tries to keep everybody abreast of what's going on. Is anybody think they were able to attend this?
We cannot.
You cannot.
I can't this week.
No, if it were noon, I would have been able to.
All right.
11 AM, middle of the week.
So everybody knows the ZBA is in the community room at 7 o'clock on that night.
Community room.
Yeah,
Fire
because
station.
planning board's here.
221
Yep.
at 7 o'clock?
7, community room.
Thank you. All right, next one, Talent Hall. We're having an issue where the back door is being left unlocked. It's happened several times, and it was the last one in there on
Basketball.
Basketball and one night a month scouts, but
Yep.
pickleball, I got an email from them saying it's happened multiple times where they've come in the morning, that door hasn't been locked.
Is
And
the
they
alarm
did,
set? Yeah,
and-
probably.
It is. What happens is people, they want everybody to come in through the stage, so they use the key and they have it so you can just pull it open, and somebody forgets to pop it.
Yeah,
Right.
It would almost be better off just having to prop it open while they're in there.
Yeah.
Not unlocking it.
Could we just put a sign on, by the,
I mean, do we want them propping it open while it's in the middle of the winter, while we're trying to conserve heat?
Propane?
I mean, honestly, let me go on record as saying this. Okay, so it's unlocked. Okay, someone goes in there.
The alarm's gonna go off.
Yeah, the alarm's gonna go off when the door opens. Besides that, it's like, besides the actual damage that maybe, it's not like they're stealing anything.
White tables?
yeah,
It's already gone.
there's not much in there.
no. But it's just, I guess whoever the last team
The last person, you
practices
just
in
gotta,
there,
you
yeah.
gotta pop the key.
I think you gotta
in and unlock
reinforce
it.
with basketball
Just
that you
like,
have to do it.
Yeah.
just like,
just a
you know,
reminder.
you gotta put the alarm on, yeah,
Yeah.
same thing, you gotta,
Yeah.
it's one of those
What if we
things.
put a little note above the alarm that says, did you remember to lock the back door?
I'd rather see you put it on, yeah, above the alarm on
There
the
is
front
a-
door. Here's the back door locked.
There is a sign on the back
Pickleball
door.
put,
Yeah.
I thought they put them by the doors in the back, but maybe they didn't.
Yeah, but if
Never-
you're exiting at the
Yeah.
alarm, it's a good reminder right
You do
there.
know you can set the alarm at the back, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
there's a keypad
Yeah.
back there too.
I didn't know that either.
Learn something new every day.
I just said it, and then I run to the front.
And forget it?
No, run as fast as I can.
Guess you haven't spent time there in a while.
Well, I just would never go out the back door leaving, right? I mean,
All right, so pickleball did put a sign up. We'll send an email to basketball reminding them if they can't lock the door, don't unlock it. That brings up the next question. Like we talked about this a while ago, but we couldn't afford it at the time. Not like we could afford it now. Maybe we have to look into door locks that we can set on a timer that automatically unlock and then relock after. Your company does that, but at the time it was a little outside our budget.
It was like 70 grand for a door lock.
And it's only gone up since then.
No, it's 75.
And you can't get it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Long term, that's
retina scanner.
that's obviously the best method because the system we have now is quite outdated.
Just like the building.
Just like the building, yeah.
I can do a little research and see what I can find. If there's anything, but we'll see.
All right, thank you, Chris. Batting cages, Talent Hall.
Singular, not plural. One batting cage.
Oh,
Batting
sorry.
cage.
I wanted to run this by everybody. Baseball would like to rig up a batting cage that would come down from the ceiling and then be able to pull it back up, and it would tuck right back up into the ceiling. We looked at like 10 different other ways to do it, and there's no way to do it without like
damaging the
wires
floor.
sticking around or I think this would be the cleanest and nicest way to do it.
Do you have like winches and?
Yeah, there's a whole system.
You have it
I
all-
can explain it to you,
Please don't.
but it would need like a half an hour of not your time in here.
Okay.
We'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
How
But
are you gonna get past the screen that drops?
past the screen, it'll be off to the side of it,
Is it going with the court or across the court?
across the court,
Going across, okay, so you're gonna run parallel with the screen.
parallel to the
Oh, okay.
parallel to the screen, in between the screen and the front door.
Front door?
Yep, on that truss that's there. So we'd rig everything off that.
That gives you probably what, 70 feet side to side?
From the width of it, it's 40 feet.
It's only 40?
Yeah, 40 feet.
How big is the building? Did you measure that?
47.
And then the cage is 40?
Yeah, so that way you'd have a buffer, so if you hit a ball, it wouldn't bounce off and crush somebody in the
Yep.
back. That's kind of why it had to be. It couldn't be against the wall. There wasn't enough room.
Because you have to let
between-
people pass by too.
Yeah, there wasn't enough room between the hoop and the door. There wasn't, it was kind of like the best place to put it.
And then
I think it'd
what is the whole building? It's like 47
70.
by 70?
be
That's
70
it?
the other direction.
70, little more. So if you go baseline to center court, it's 35-ish.
Really?
Yeah, so you got about 70 there, baseline to baseline.
I thought it was bigger.
No. We've paced it off. We have girls pitching.
Can it fit on Eversource's pad?
No. The pad's bigger than that building.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So if everybody's cool with that, we're gonna rock it.
I don't have a problem with it. Do we need
No.
to vote on that? Just
That's a modification, as long as we're good with it. I mean,
verbal agreement?
Sounds good to me.
Let me know if you need help.
we tape the walls, we do everything else when we're in there,
What
right?
happens when the first basketball gets stuck up there?
It'll be
Drop
able to
it.
come down.
You know it's gonna happen.
You know what's gonna be up there more? Pickleballs. Because you drop the screen right now and it's like pelting
Yeah.
coming down.
It's, the way it's gonna, we're gonna have it. It'll tuck right up in there pretty good. So
So it would,
Okay.
so it's not gonna be the netting constantly hanging? It'll come down, then the netting will be what folds up? Or is it gonna
exactly.
be?
So basically, they'll if you have the square, the ropes will come down, go through it, and then back up and tie to something up here.
Okay.
So when you pull it up, it'll lift from the bottom up to the top. And then
Can we
Like
even
these
clean it on the
blinds,
wall?
and then it'll all just go up.
it all just.
So you gotta clean it on the wall or something?
What's that?
Because you can have the ropes hanging down to bring
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah.
So you gotta
It'll come
clean it.
down. We'll cleat it up high so nobody can hit their head on it or whatever.
So it's not like a metal frame, it's just gonna be the netting itself?
Correct. Yeah.
Well, Steve and I will never hit our heads on it, so.
Yeah. It's 3/8 inch like boat rope. Yeah, like 600 feet of it, but I don't think we'll use all of it.
Steve set the alarm running out of the building.
Gets caught, yeah.
We can actually
He's all tangled up in
tie it to
it.
the alarm system, and it automatically drops if somebody gets in there.
Yeah.
And it captures
It's a
people.
net, yeah.
Like you're in the jungle.
Yep. One of those drops.
Cheaper than new locks.
A lot more fun.
I'm in favor of it. I don't have a problem with it. That doesn't sound like anybody else does, so
Nope.
go for it.
All right,
Just don't get hurt when you're doing it.
I won't.
Plowing services, rec and
Liability waiver.
conservation. Mr. Ames.
Yeah, so a seasonal issue just wanted to raise. So, a number of our parks, as folks know, we are responsible for the policy at the conservation properties. And with snow on the ground, just looked around and see what's plowed out, what's not, and have for the last couple of years. Best I can tell is intermittent plowing. I don't know if it's by the town or just a
Good
generous-
Samaritan.
Good Samaritan, yep. But certainly our conservation properties have had increased traffic over the last couple of years with upgrades made there, particularly Parker Park, Litchfield State Forest, and Morse Falls. And so winter is actually a time where there's a lot of utility there. And wanted to see if there is a way to kind of get more standardized plowing services at the parks. I certainly understand that it's not a priority, and the town crews are doing a great job on much more urgent needs, particularly these last couple nights. But to get them plowed out, in the first day or so after a storm would be helpful. When they freeze, then it's really difficult for vehicles that aren't four-wheel to get in there, and encourages people to park on the road or next to it, so they're kind of sticking out when folks are trying to access the trail system. So sure there'll be a cost to it. Not sure if this is something to resolve this season, but I think with the increased use of those parks, would love to just kind of have some more predictable plowing services so folks could know that they can drive out there and have access. Also for like Sawmill and Corning, I don't know if those are plowed. I don't believe so. But folks still go down there, right? Yes, certainly Sawmill I know is not. I don't know Corning. People still go down there. I don't know if we want to encourage access in the off season or not, but something to consider for that. So I guess the first question for anybody who knows is that on the plowing schedule in town to?
None of those are being plowed in town.
Yeah, okay.
River access, we definitely don't, because we shut it down.
Yep.
And Corny doesn't get plowed, Sawmill doesn't get plowed, Jeff Lane doesn't get plowed. Roy Memorial gets done at the end.
Yeah.
So they'll go in and do what they can, but going around the building and everything, it's after they clear all the roads and everything before
Yeah.
they get down to do
Yeah,
that.
and that's for two purposes, mainly for just safety and fire and access,
Yeah.
because that is used all winter long, but they also need to keep the path clear for, the fire trucks, just in case.
So I think that's the only one that, of our property that regularly gets plowed in the winter. Would be Roy.
We can speak with Kevin and
Yeah, it's
find
definitely,
out,
we go to the road agent and ask.
find out, throw a number and try to put in, speak with Jay and see if he could put, he'll have to ask at the next deliberative too for more money, and possibly cover it next year.
Okay, so I'll take the next step and reach out to the road agent then.
All right,
to-
yep, that'd be great,
It really just comes down to manpower,
yes.
Yeah, time.
what they're out doing and what they're up with. Usually stuff like that, clearing intersections and everything, they do all that the next day.
Yep.
Versus to get the roads open for everybody and then go back and clean up.
Is it fair to say though that there's consensus that clearing out the conservation lots would be preferable?
I would say yes to conservation. Sawmill, I kinda like the idea of keeping it not plowed, because then it keeps people from going down
Yeah,
there.
you don't wanna plow Sawmill.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
it's all
the amount, honestly,
Plus it's all rock.
it's all rock. Like, the amount that you could do there, if you take out some of that rock.
And the other one's a wrap, well, Corny's dirt.
Plus, the other
You
thing,
wouldn't wa- you
we
wouldn't
try to
want
keep,
quantity of those.
by keeping, there are still four-wheels that go, snowmobiles that go through there and whatever, but you're trying to keep them off that big area, so that, because at times, there was a time, a couple of years after, where someone got onto the field, and there were marks on the field. Because because the snow wasn't that thick, so you kinda wanna keep the field isolated.
Yeah, I would say definitely for conservation, reach out to Jay too, because that conservation areas are definitely used more in the winter than recreational. Give Jay a reason to take the tractor out.
Oh, God.
He's been telling me, I gotta go cut the grass at least once in February.
I know, so that he can say he did it once every single month of the year.
Well, he uses the bucket now to clear his driveway, so.
All right, that's all we had for, one thing, the lock at at Royal Memorial I have with me, it was frozen. The gate, the gate lock, so it was frozen, so I took it off so that, Kevin could at least get in there to plow. And it's in the back of my truck, I'll put it in town hall, and for the winter, as long as there's a snow bank, no one's gonna go out to the fields, and then we'll put it back on in the spring.
And the handicap comfort castle is there.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
I-
on the inside.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you can still pump from there, so they can just walk through the
If
little.
they can
opening
walk
and
through
get
that
to-
little
Yeah.
entry thing,
I was
yeah.
going to work one morning and I got a call saying,
Comfort
yeah,
Castle.
I'm here, you need to meet me, and I'm like, who's
Never wanted
this?
number 2
It
business.
was like- So, yeah, I had him drop it right there, and I explained to him that usually the gate is closed, he couldn't get into the gate because the lock was frozen, so we got it unlocked, and he put it right inside, and he said that if they need to service it with the gate closed, they can still get to it without a problem.
That thing looks like it'd be tough to tip too.
It's big.
Yeah.
Big.
And all the new ones, if you notice, they have handles on theirs, so we'll be able to, probably handles of plastic, so they won't support much, but you got, maybe put a chain or something like that on smaller units.
Yeah.
Pick them up and carry them around.
Oh, God,
So you can upright them after you drop them on the side.
I'd like to see that.
All right, so if anybody sees the chain missing, I have it, I'll bring it back, along with the flag too. Somebody picked the flag up and just folded it and put it into the little library. It must have
Yep.
fallen off when the wind was whipping.
By the snack pack.
Yeah. So, I haven't.
a hell of
with
a
me, so
wind.
I'll Drop it off.
Did it rip the grommets or anything?
I don't know. I just saw it sitting there, so I just
Is it American
grabbed it.
flag?
Yeah, the American flag by the snack shack.
Didn't realize it was still up.
I was gonna give it to Jeff.
Okay.
All right. Old business. Pickleball update. Chris, Judy, Steve G.
So I was supposed to meet last night with the Board of Selectmen to discuss getting approval for our direct soliciting. That didn't happen because the meeting got canceled because of the weather. So scheduled for Thursday now. I'm gonna plan on going for that, seeing if I can get that. Once we get the thumbs up there, I'm gonna reach out to the vendors and send them the most recent plan that we have for their best and final. And then we can select the vendor, hopefully at the next meeting, which would be 2 weeks from now, or whatever the date is.
Yep.
14th?
Yeah.
We don't meet for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Judy and I met with a couple of the folks from pickleball the other day, just discussed some of the wants and needs that they're looking for there. I think we're all pretty much on the same page.
Yep.
You know, I think it'll be nice. It'll be good.
they asked if we wanted to participate in some lessons or play pickleball, and I suggested reaching out to all the boards, and they might get a good showing. One weekend, like late afternoon, early evening, and then one time during the week at one of the earlier times. So I don't know if anybody is interested, but I said I would reach out to the boards, and they'll set up. It'll be at least 2 weeks out because they have their schedule done on Sign Up Genius a week ahead of time, so that way they won't have to cancel anybody who's already signed up to play. But I don't know, is there any interest? Would any of you show up for that?
Depending on what it is, I would.
I would too.
It depends on the day.
Okay,
They've also got some funds that they'd like to donate as well.
Yeah.
Similar to how they have in the past. So they'll probably want to discuss that with us, how they should designate them, or if they even should designate them, but to be used for something pickleball related.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to put another porta potty out there, I would think, in
yep.
that general area.
Yeah, in the spring.
Could we take some of that and put it or save it for, maintenance? I mean, once they're built, right, everything's gonna be in really good shape,
Should be
but
for a while.
we should kind of start something so that we're not in a situation where like, oh.
So they do contribute to the rec revolving, and they.
Yeah,
they
that's
can
one thing
specify,
they
so-
mentioned, rec revolving.
It depends on how they allocate it. Like, they gave us one and said this is for talent hall, and it handcuffs you because you only can use it for talent.
But if
But
they
can-
say.
it
If
could
they
be
give for
open-ended, right?
If they give it open-ended for recreation commission,
Yeah.
then it's at our discretion
Yeah.
on how we want to use it.
And he did mention last time that they'd like to help and work with us to, as the courts need to be relined or sealed again.
Yeah.
They'd be the ones, like with tennis, we don't know because we're not out there every day, but
Right.
they'd know. And if they're contributing to the rec revolving, we'd be able to allocate the money to, or approve the money and allocate for the.
Maintenance.
Maintenance. But yeah, that's the biggest problem we have is we have these utilities, facilities, but we don't have.
Money to
maintenance
maintain them,
budgets.
yeah.
Once you get the information back from the vendor, we will forward it to the gentleman who's gonna work on the field, keep him abreast of what's going on, and then hopefully has some designs that says what they need to do before it's paved. And, I'm sure that'll all come out nicely.
Yep.
I don't think he's gonna do anything as far as,
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that, yeah.
rocket launch. Last time we met with, what's the gentleman's name? Jeff, doing the rocket launch, he wanted to use Sawmill, then he asked for a rain date, and soon afterwards, gentleman who owns the property across from Hidden Creek, there's about 25 acres of land, said that they could launch the rockets there if need be. Probably be closer towards, I would think closer towards Albuquerque, so if anything, what is it, 1,200 feet? Up with that land on 3A?
Out of the wind.
Yeah, they can go pretty far.
But Sawmill Brooks, 5 acres, I think it is, the field's about 5 acres, a little bit more,
5 or 6,
yeah.
I think.
No, I think it's more than that.
The field,
gotta
no,
be
it's
bigger
not that, no, it's not, it's the actual grass, and Sawmill's a little over 5 acres.
Oh, just the playing surface, I mean.
I think the clearing, I think that whole thing was 6 acres. For some reason, that number just sticks in my head.
I think the grass is actually 5, and then the perimeter comes out a little bit more than 6. But this is 25 acres, so it should be enough. If not, we'll be telling kids not to chase across Charles Bankert.
Yeah.
Lions Club, family movie night, that is coming up
Next Sunday.
next Sunday.
And just a reminder, they'll be in there Thursday night doing a quick setup and run through, to make sure your equipment all works. And you were gonna be there
I'll
because
be
of
there, 'cause of
basketball.
basketball.
So I let them know that you were gonna show them how to set the alarm.
Yep.
And if they had any
Lock the
questions
doors.
about,
Lock the doors, especially the back one.
you said extension cords or plugs or anything.
There is 2 extension cords right there.
Okay. So I let them know to come a little bit early, so
So they're
that
coming-
basketball
are they-
hadn't moved
they're
out
coming
and
this
locked up,
Thursday?
so this Thursday. Well, I don't know how the weather's gonna be Thursday night, but if they can't get in there Thursday night, they're gonna go Friday night after basketball is done, and then I can talk them through the.
And you're there,
alarm.
Andy, right? Friday nights?
I'm there from 5 to 6 on Fridays.
Yeah. Thursday, I'm there till 7:30.
So either Thursday or Friday, between those hours, if they don't get there Thursday, come see you on
5 to
Friday.
6 on Friday. Or
But then who's
just-
in there after?
Somebody's in after at 6
I
on
think we had
Friday.
said 8 would be a safe time on Friday, I think at the last meeting.
You might have to drive me there. Friday.
Friday night at 8?
PM.
Well, if we
Possibility.
can find out what time for sure, I can
Uber.
let them know. I thought that's
Got a
what.
courtesy ride from the
he had
LPD.
Speaking of talent, I did speak with I was there Sunday trying to fix the toilet. I think I fixed it. And the janitor showed up to clean. He said that the old soap dispensers are at the point now where they just can't, we could fill them, but they just don't pump out. His recommendation is just to remove them and keep using the small, soft soap. Yeah, he said he will order some more so that we can keep them there. There was a problem with one of the trash barrels, the blue trash barrel. The liner kept falling in, so I pulled that one out and gave him one of the gray ones. So now there's 2 gray ones in there that accept the regular liners that we use. And I think that was it. I turned the heat down a little bit. When I was in there, it was like 75 degrees. So I dropped the temp down to, I think, 62 or 63. The thermostat was set at 65, but it was still quite warm, so I dropped it down a little bit more. That's all we have. Next meeting is Thursday, February 14th, Valentine's Day. Is that Valentine's Day? Yeah, it must be.
I like chocolate a lot. Dark chocolate. Yeah, dark chocolate.
Is there a special manufacturer?
Wow, I really like Van Otis Swiss fudge. That's really good. The milk,
Right? Oh, I mean.
the milk chocolate and their dark chocolate. Just saying.
Anything else anybody wants to bring up? All right. We do not have a non-public. We did not even have a public because no one's here with us. So we'll make a motion.
Wait a minute, I did put non-public on there. He had brought it up, and in an email.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Do you wanna have one?
Something you wanna bring
Yeah.
up?
I
And
think
did
everybody
put
chimed
the-
in saying it was a good idea.
Yeah.
Did you miss that one?
It's his one anniversary at work, so, you know.
All right, so we'll go into
You need a ride back from courtesy ride?
go into a non-public, RSA 91A, colon 3, 2C for reputation.
Do we have to end our, can we end our regular meeting first?
Nope, and
Yeah,
after.
come back afterwards.
Okay.
So we'll
Just need a
Accept-
motion and a roll call vote.
accept a motion to go into non-public for reputation.
So moved.
A
Seconded.
All right, we'll do a roll call. Mr. Bosky,
Aye.
Mr. Weber,
Yes?
Mr. Ames,
Yes.
Mr. Burns,
Yes.
I am an aye. Mr. Ruggles?
Yep.
Mr. Town?
Have an alternate.
It's okay. We'll have you vote. If not, you have to leave. It's a,
Don't worry,
yes.
Yes.
we don't really believe in his math skills anyway.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 8. We're gonna go into non-public. When we come out of the non-public, will be simply to adjourn. We will not be returning to the meeting. All right. We're all set over there, Oscar, if you wanna cut it off?